Hello! Today's video will be a quick introduction to Dungeons & Dragons, as well as a short, interactive demo of the game at the end. And you're gonna get it all straight from the horse's mouth. First of all, what even is D&D? Dungeons & Dragons is a collaborative storytelling game based on adventuring together. In this game, you'll investigate mysteries, solve problems large and small, defeat monsters, and write epic adventures together. Your DM or Dungeon Master is the one in charge of most of the mechanical stuff, as well as the overarching plot, but the players can get as creative as they want within the world to drive that plot forward. A good DM works with their players to challenge them, but shouldn't be outright hostile under most circumstances. The only way to win at D&D is for everyone to have fun. This doesn't mean that you should never fail, because failure is as much a part of the game as success is. But what it means is that regardless of success or failure, the game should be enjoyable for everyone involved. Now you're probably asking, but how do I play? If you're an aspiring dungeon master and want to run games for your friends, start by becoming familiar with the basic rules. These are available through Wizards of the Coast for free. Wizards of the Coast is the publisher for all official D&D material. But if possible, I do highly recommend picking up a starter kit or an essentials kit through your local game store or another retailer. These kits contain a set of dice, some useful tools for running a game, and a decent-sized adventure to keep you and your friends playing for hours. However, this doesn't really help you right now. Since you're watching this video, I'm assuming you want better answers than read the rules and buy some dice, which you probably already knew. With that in mind, playing D&D really isn't all that hard. There are a lot of rules, but the basics are really simple. The DM will set the scene for the players, and then the players will give an appropriate response, either through full-on improv acting or just by telling what their character would do in that scenario. Sometimes this doesn't involve rolling dice, but if any big decisions are on the line, especially when there's a chance that a character might not succeed, the DM will ask for an appropriate dice roll, and how high the resulting number is will determine how the outcome plays out. Obviously, there's a lot more to it when you start to look at the exact details, but this is a nice roadmap for almost every scenario in D&D. Let's see how it might look in a game. I'll be your DM, and you can be an adventurer. The sky is dark and the rain is pouring down. The smell of mud and petrichor permeate the air as you rush towards the gate. It's closed. You must have just missed it by moments, as the gate normally closes at sundown to keep monsters out. On the other side of the gate, you can see two guards walking away. One even looks a little familiar through the rain, but it's hard to tell. What do you say to try to convince them to open the gate for you? Now, this is a fairly average social encounter, so we're going to set this to a difficulty class 11, or DC 11, meaning you have about a 50-50 chance of succeeding. So why don't you roll a 20-sided die, commonly called a D20, and see how you do. We'll consider an 11 or higher a success, and a 10 or lower to be a failure. Now, I've recorded outcomes for both of these scenarios, so you can skip forward to the appropriate one, or just play through both of them to see how the scene might play out in both circumstances. Success. The guard is sympathetic to your situation and lets you in. Yeah, alright, give me a second and I'll get it open for you. Hey Trevor, come give me a hand, we got a straggler. After a few moments, the two guards open the gate about a foot, just enough to let you squeeze in. Now might be a good time to ask where you might find shelter and food, or to see if they have any leads on work, but really it's up to you from here. Failure. The guards are sympathetic, but can't break the rules. Sorry, stranger. Once the gate's closed for the night, we're not allowed to open it. Stick close by, though, and we'll keep an eye out for you, and let you in first thing in the morning. Hey, Trevor, we got a straggler. Keep an eye on them and make sure to help them out if they need it. He shouts that to one of the other guards through the rain. Not the best outcome, unfortunately, but at least they're close by and friendly. You can always talk to Trevor through the gate and figure out your best course of actions for tomorrow. And if any monsters attack in the night, a couple of guards with crossbows are nearby to help support you. Now, success and failure both have different outcomes in the short term, but your story will likely continue either way. The guards were reasonable people, but they have a job to do like anybody else. It's up to the DM to dictate how the guards would behave in this scenario, but they should act reasonably unless there's some strange circumstances that would dictate otherwise. They probably won't attack you, and they probably won't leave you out to die, even if they can't be convinced to bend the rules for you. See, it isn't nearly as hard as it looks. It's a little more involved than just this, obviously, but that's the basic idea. Creating a character, playing through an entire game, leveling up, and many other parts of gameplay are a little more complicated than this example, but those will be covered in other videos and aren't all that complicated either when it comes down to it. At the end of the day, this is a game of make-believe, so as long as everybody is having fun, you're probably doing it right. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe, I guess, to show the YouTube that you liked this, and leave some comments below if you have any questions about D&D. Otherwise, stay kind, stay hydrated, and have fun.